All right, guys, how you doing? Here we go. We're live once again. It's Mind Body Bank Account, and I'm super stoked to have an awesome guest of mine tonight. And you'll get a chance to meet her in just a moment. Sorry, I'm just figuring out here how to invite a couple friends. Okay, so super stoked to have with us my special guest, Patricia Lynn Stokes. And she's going to talk to us tonight. You know what? I was really inspired just to contact her and talk to her about some of the awesome things that she's doing recently. As a matter of fact, because I was snooping on another person's. I know, sounds crazy, right? But I was, I saw, but Patricia, just hold tight with me for 1 second.
Okay.
Because I'm just going to share why I now I know you're doing some awesome things, but it was kind of quirky, just kind of the way how my mind was working today. But I was actually creeping on somebody else's Facebook profile. And it was, I don't know why, but it was somebody who I never thought they had the heart that they had. And then what I ended up seeing was that they were making.
Me.
No, as a matter of fact, yeah, it was somebody who I'll just, I'll let them remain nameless.
Nameless.
But I didn't realize how cool they actually were. And when I say cool, when I was creeping on their Facebook site, I was seeing that they were making sandwiches almost every weekend to give out to the homeless in Hamilton. And it just it made me step back and think about how I thought about them originally, right? Because we don't really know people. We don't really know what they're all about. So first impressions, sometimes aren't always as they seem. So anyway, I was inspired to give you a shout because I know you're doing some killer, amazing things for your community. And I just wanted to profile that on my little show, Mind Body Bank Account. So Patricia Lynn Stokes, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I can't see who's on. I don't even know how to share it. Is there a way for me to share it to my
You know what? When we're done,
yeah,
you share away. Because you're already tagged to this video. So you'll see it appear in your live feed, and just start tagging it to everywhere you want. Because sharing is caring, guys. That's the big tagline of the day. We can't touch the community and all the people that we want and get our message out there if we don't share. So if something resonates with you here, share it, because somebody else is going to get the same kind of feeling and will be able to impact the world. So Patricia, share with us.
Okay.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm sitting on this chair talking to you. What am I doing? Which part do you want to know first?
You know what? Let's okay, so hold on. I talked to you very briefly today, and halfway through us chatting, I said, whoa, stop. We can't talk anymore, because that's the whole, all the good stuff comes out in the first meeting that I have with someone. So I didn't want to spoil it by talking too much. But you've recently launched a guide to success, right? Am I right? It's the Personal Development Freaks Guide to Success. So
we as a group, I think, well, I was going to say everything starts with mindset, right? So if we look at the principles of Think and Grow Rich, we take it back to that. And but I did launch a workbook with Natalie Cousins, my co-partners, just incredible, Mr.
Awesome.
Lester Bailey, Mr. Gordon. So, and that's without like any order or whatever. And they're just incredible. And as you know, when you reached out to me, you said you've known Gordon for 22 years.
You know what? In the neighborhood of 18 to 20 years, and that,
yeah. So incredible, right? So when you start surrounding yourself with other like-minded people, life changes and things start coming to you in abundance at the right time that they're meant to come to you. And that's what's happened.
Very cool.
Yeah. In that situation with our personal development, personal mindset, personal growth, which we're now doing Personal Development Freaks. It's a little bit different. We're, you know, and that's not freaks in like the sexual transmutation chapter in Think and Grow Rich, right? We're talking like, we're just focused, we're driven, we're outside thinkers. Good. We're, you know, yeah.
It's good.
That's where I'm there.
Yeah. And so tell me, what does your product show people? I mean, is it more mindset based? Is it product driven? Is it a system?
Yeah. Well, we started off as, you know, we're going through the group, and we started wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and wave 4. So we've gone through Think and Grow Rich. Every night we've done a chapter. We've maybe taken a couple days break or a week break, or, you know, but not too much time in between June 10th and now. And we're doing a chapter a night. And I said to Gordon, well, why don't we do like a chapter a week? He's like, no, keep the momentum going. Then you'll just keep routinely doing it. Right. And so we said, okay, we're going to create a group, and we're going to invite other people, because how many people know people who have got Think and Grow Rich, or have got the Laws of Success, or have got, you know, any other number of personal development, personal growth mindset books. You know, you look at some of the greats like Robert Hollis in his book, right? So, you know, like, we're just surrounded by amazing mentors, and to just, you know, be able to take that into our community and grow and look at the chapters and look what they really mean. And
very cool.
As we were going through, we noticed how we would want the, you know, the desire statement written out, the I am statements, all the guidelines, the things that you look at every day weren't matching what we wanted it to look like. So we've created our own.
Kind of tweaked her a bit.
Yeah. And so, but it's for everything, right? It's going to carry through in everything that we're reading, right? And so it's like a book club with personal development, personal mindset, and we're following along in the workbook and growing and connecting together in that community. And it's just amazing.
It's great. You know, in a world that seems like there's negativity all the time on the news, and just, I don't know, is it just me, or it seems like the world at large, it just seems like crap lately, right? And
no, I don't want to say it seems like crap at all. I feel this great energy in the world. See, so what you might see as like crap, I'm feeling that there is a shift definitely happening.
Well, there's a yin and a yang, right? I mean,
yeah. And I think, you know, all of those things that we would look at as negative maybe, or affecting our life, right? Like, I've got a lot of things like going on with like things that I'm supporting and people I'm supporting, and, you know, my family and friends, and, you know, business associates, and your participants that like call you, right? So, you know, it's a balance, and it's just like, you don't take on anything that you can't handle, or anybody I've found that's not in my support group that I can't reach out and say, hey, I've got this person I'm working with. Can I connect them to you? Because I know that you are a stand-up person, a gentleman, and you will help them, right? Or support them in the next step that they need, or, you know, a woman, or whoever I'm connecting to. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's great, because the more people that have that kind of attitude, that, no, man, things are good.
Yeah.
That's what we really need, right?
I think so.
And what I was getting at is that there's a lot of people that look at some of the situations happening in the world right now, and they get kind of
it's hard not to, right? It's even hard for people who are working on their mindset, right? Like, I know I have like a cry day, you know, or a breakdown day. We all do, but like, who do we have to reach out to, and just keeping it in perspective. So I think that's why mindset and development is so important, whether it's, you know, however, if you're going to talk to a counselor, hanging off a building, or, you know, surrounding yourself with great people.
Totally. Now, guys.
Not hanging off a building like I meant like the CN Tower. Let me clarify.
Hey, you know what though? Hey,
for the edge walk, I love the edge walk. I love doing like thrill-seeking activities that I'm not necessarily going to die from.
You know what? You're right. You're
likely.
Right. But on a serious note too, there's a lot of people out there that are hurting these days. And
absolutely,
when you can surround yourself with an incredible support group and positive-minded people, hopefully we take some of that darkness and shed some light, and give people, you know, reason to want to keep trudging on, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So there's lots of people that could be tuning into this show that aren't necessarily down with or don't understand the whole concept of personal development, right? I mean, there's just average cats that are just kind of watching this to see, hey, what are you guys all about?
You say show, but like, you know what? I don't really see it as a show, but that's only because when I'm on, like I see 2 or 3 people, but when we go into our back statistics, it's like we have 200 people in the group and say 140 to 170 like silently watching. You can see that they're interacting with your group, which I think is like just incredible, right? And so I'm like looking at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like there is people watching, right? Or like the other day, one of the people said, like I was talking to her and she's like, oh, you're on a break. I said, yeah, I'm on a break. She goes, it doesn't even seem like that because we have you playing in like the background at the house. And it's like, so people are tuning into, and I'm not the perfect reader either, right? But that's okay.
It is, it's all good.
Yeah.
I call it a show, but really the truth is, you can't tell right now, but I'm sitting in my pajamas here underneath this.
Well, sometimes I show up in my pajamas, right?
That's
and
right.
I say, I'm just going to be comfortable.
Exactly. But the whole idea of us kind of connecting and sharing with people what it is that you're doing and some of my other guests, it's all just to put out the awesome out there.
Yes.
And hopefully somebody can find a little, pearl of wisdom, something that made us, keep them moving forward towards their goals or bettering themselves. So, yeah,
I have to say, if anybody's ever feeling like they can't move forward with their goals or they're feeling stuck, reach out, never feel silly about reaching out, right? Always ask. And that's, something that's really important, I think, for especially mental health issues and different, struggles, or not even struggles, challenges, like things come up, right? So let's connect to our support.
Yeah. Because when you're feeling stuck, if you reach it, other people everybody gets stuck.
Now I don't know
whether does.
Yeah, I want to say it was Suzanne Hart that said if you're spending any more than 48 hours on an issue or a challenge that you can't solve on your own, then it's time, right? Like if you've pulled in every resource that like in your mind of like what you can do, then just spend 48 hours on it.
48 hours, and
I'm not sure that it was. I'm not saying that it was Suzanne Hart because I'm, everybody, it's just there's so many gold nuggets that come out of
totally.
The group and people.
And what do you mean by that? Like if you can't figure it out after that time, just kind of throw it to the side?
Because never throw an issue to the side. No.
Are you sure? Because
I'm absolutely sure.
I've heard an awesome quote one time, and I thought it was killer. And so challenge me on this one. I heard someone tell me one time, there's no sense beating a dead horse. So one of the great
my mom used to say that. Right?
So you need to know when to dismount that horse. Is there truth to that? Like, I mean, do you want like what if it's a client? You don't want to spend all your time beating somebody just to come and take a look at something is going to change your life. So do you just dismount that horse and go ride another one?
I think you do it to the best of your ability on all the resources and connections that you can connect them to.
Yeah.
On what you can take on, because we're all growing individually and developmentally and, mind-wise. And we take on what we can and we connect them. And if they don't take that, advice, or they don't take that support, and you've done everything you can, then you've done everything you can, right?
That's right. Yeah.
It takes me a lot to get to I've done everything I can with somebody.
Sure. But you can't beat yourself up.
Or in my own situation, right? Like, no, absolutely not. No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't carry that.
Now, talk to me about Dawn House, because I think this is super killer, and I think that this is like, I don't know, if more people just had the heart that you have and are, and it shared and helped the community, man, oh man. So tell me, what's Dawn House all about?
So Dawn House is pretty important to me. It's pretty special, and because Dawn House was created in 1986. So when I was 7 years old, my mom ran a home for special care facility, not facility, it was a home, because they lived 24 hours a day at our home, right?
Yep.
Psychiatric patients and things. And so my sister-in-law worked helping vulnerable women, and it's when they first started putting it together, and it started growing and showing that there was a need for it in the Kingston community. And we started as a 24-hour shelter with an emergency 24-hour line for vulnerable women could come in and out, right, to live there. And so within that time, we had 4,500 plus when we closed our doors in, I think it was 2015. 4,500 plus women came through and slept the night at Dawn House. That's how, you know, and some nights there were huge lists of having to turn people away because there were no beds, right? So, yeah.
It doesn't happen in my community. You know what I mean? Like
it absolutely does. It happens in everybody's community, right? We just, you know, I think we're starting to see it a little bit more, like especially in the Kingston area, right? It's been there, but it's it's definitely something that we all need to pay attention to and support and give back in some form. You know, not everybody can give in the same way, but time and time is your most important thing, right? Because if you're volunteering to help a good cause, or if you're, you know, the most important thing you can give is your time. If you can't, you know, give financially. And my big goal is to give huge financially, right? So otherwise I wouldn't be putting my face out there, you know.
There you go though, right? I mean, so it's like, you know, back in the day when I got involved in business with Gordon, I remember hearing certain quotes that, and it was like, you know, people were saying, you can't do incredible things for your community. You can't build schools or churches or hospitals without money. So
you absolutely can. It takes a community. It takes a team. It takes like I would say we are hands on board at Dawn House. And it takes a whole team. And I know, like, we couldn't be where we are without our executive director, Maggie McLaren. If you know her or Google her, like I don't know if you Google her, she'll come up. She wouldn't come up. I don't know. But she, like, if you look into Dawn House and stuff, you will know that Maggie is our executive director, and we just couldn't do it without her. Like, she's just incredible. And
awesome.
And the team, right? Like the staff there, or not staff. I hate to say staff, right? But
big hearts and big volunteers, man. It's incredible. So if somebody is hurting, if there's somebody in need, how do they get a hold of you? Is it something that they can just drop in at night if things go crazy at home, or how do you long term, short term, how do people get in touch with you?
Okay, so we have a line that opens, you know, during the daytime hours. I'm not exactly sure, like, from what time to what time it would be, you know, but it's not 24 hours anymore. I do know that, right? Like, there's not somebody answering the phone 24 hours. We stopped doing that in 2016. Our goal would be that we are there 24 hours a day, and that we would have a support person back able to answer and do crisis 24 hours. Though our executive director has spent, you know, a few nights on our couch in our office with things, and just, you know, I think it's, you call, you reach out, and we figure it out somehow. We max out the best way that we can support a person. And like, you know, earlier, there might be that one or two that you just, it's heartbreaking, and I won't choke up and cry about it, because we've had some rough leaves at Dawn House since we've been open, with women choosing to, you know, move forward, or it just wasn't, you know. So that's, you know, you got to support people in the journey of where they're at, right? But we are definitely there to answer the phone and try to, you know, even if somebody reaches out to me privately, then I try to connect them.
It's awesome. And, you know, you're not even sharing some of the background stuff that you shared with me when I was on the phone with you about.
You want to know about, like, when you go in the building?
Well, I mean, because you were saying that, you know, you were taking people in on just bringing people into your home and giving them a place to feel secure and.
Oh, you mean like my own home?
Yeah.
So that to me is like, if you've ever had you have children, right? And if they grow up with somebody and that's their best friend and they've been around, you know, like, that becomes part of your family as well, right? So
for sure.
It was, you know, I have opened my house. I have, you know,
But see, that's the difference between you just running a business and it's your heart. This is you.
I don't like to talk about it, but
right.
Yeah. And like absolutely care
I
about them
can't
a whole
pass
lot.
you tissues, so don't get too emotional. But
I'll try not to get too emotional. I've already, I get pretty teary about it. So, but it's settling, and I have a huge support team at home, and I wouldn't be able to give the support to others that I give without my home team, and that's all of my daughters and my partner. That's
good
my
stuff.
partner in crime.
We all need a partner in crime. They keep us on the straight and narrow sometimes, push us to do great things and crazy things other times.
Yeah.
So what else you got on your plate? What else is new and hot? What else do you want to let people know about? Yeah.
Oh, HempWorks? Do you want to know about HempWorks?
You know what? I do. So this whole thing is just wild nowadays. So tell me, what's HempWorks all about? What's give it to me. Give me, yeah.
It's drops.
Okay.
So I was, it's CBD.
Yep.
So if people haven't heard CBD, Google it. It is.
Google it up, people. CBD.
Google it up. CBD.
It's magic.
Yeah, and just put whatever it might heal, or whatever symptom you have, like whether it be, I'm not going to name symptoms like live, but like anything that you might have that's medical or it's been bothering you or hindering your life, then Google it with that next
Is this stuff like what is this magic stuff that grows?
And I don't want to say Google all the time. Like there's some scientific research that is happening that's credible and like scholar papers and things written on CBD. So, but there is we'll post reliable links so they can look it up.
Not to mention tens of thousands of years of people using it.
Yeah.
Through all cultures and yeah.
I call it my happiness drops.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's it's all the benefits of or the feeling of marijuana, but not the high. So for somebody who suffers with things that I do, it would heighten, like if I have things that are high THC, that symptom would be heightened in me, right? So although that might be helping me with all the other, things that I have going on, it's not helping me in that part, right? So I like that I can have this CBD and that I don't have the pain feeling of, the other medications, right? Yeah. And happiness. You just get happy. Your happiness. It's like great. I don't even know how to describe it.
And nowadays, so legalization is becoming such a huge hot topic nowadays. But what we're talking about is being able to isolate that CBD component. Am I correct? And that is kind of, THC has some magical stuff to it. But as far as pain relief and other crazy things that this can do for your body, as far as getting your internal function of all your systems working just like clockwork. It's pretty wild stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's your cannabinoid system, right? And I'm not great at pronouncing things, but what I do know is that when I take it, I feel an overall sense of happiness, an overall sense of wellness. It's something that I just haven't been able to explain until, somebody else maybe has, gotten it and taken it. And then they can say, oh my gosh, yes, when are we getting it back in Canada? Okay, and we are a full spectrum oil. We are a full spectrum oil with that company.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when you say happiness, are you talking like happiness from eating a hash brownie, or are you talking happiness because it just makes you like, it just makes you feel like you want to feel all the time?
Yes, but without feeling hot. I don't know how to explain it. Like I'm somebody who, I should show you my big bag of like meds, but like to take back, right? Like I'm serious, like the empty bottles, because I was on 97 milligrams of morphine a day. Yep. Right. Wow. I was Tylenol 3. I was hit by transport, so I won't go into those big elaborate stories, but I got into one accident and then 2 months later I got into another. I survived, and
I'm sorry. I almost I probably saw a smile on my face, but I wasn't actually laughing at getting hit by a transport. Holy crap. But
I kind of like have 9 lives, I think. Like, I don't know. But yeah, 9 lives, like a cat. And
wow.
So yeah, so I was on a lot, and you can imagine, you know, I don't want to say symptoms on here, like when I'm live, right? Because I'm not to cure anything, or, you know.
But it's better than getting on the Oxycontin, right?
Yeah. Or something that makes you, like, if you can't, like, if I'm having night terrors, or if I can't sleep, or if I'm, you know, having, you know, driving, you can't, well, people do. I'm saying you shouldn't be driving, like, high on marijuana,
Sure,
right?
sure.
So what's an alternative that's still going to help me, but not, you know, put me or others at risk of, you know.
Yeah. And
especially
and
with
that's
accidents.
And that's the way, I mean, it doesn't affect you that way. I mean, you can still.
Absolutely. Yeah. You just feel like it's a calmness. It's a wellness.
Yeah.
It's not a like, oh my gosh, I'm so calm, I can't move anywhere.
That's cool. Yeah.
It's I can function. I feel like I've got a really, because you do start getting, like, I started sleeping, right? I can speak for myself. I started sleeping. I started, you know, not having those racing thoughts for, you know, if I have a trigger, right? Like, I've got a history of trauma. So if I have a trigger or anything, like, I'm not having those, I'm just an overall sense of wellness, and I can, you know, show up and be available. Like, I'm starting to, you know, get out more and network again, right? Where I took a couple years to just work on me and get back to, you know, and it's allowing me to do that. So that's why I love it.
It's good. It's awesome. I know that. I mean, it's wild, because I never would have thought, like, even 10 years ago, this was something that was looked on as some kind of crazy voodoo, and you're going to go to jail if you explored this whole science, right? But I mean, it's something that Mother Nature has put here for us to learn how to use properly, effectively, and you know, responsibly. But
I think education is going to be key, right? Like, if I'm, you know, talking with anybody who's, you know, using marijuana, and you know, like, what their other symptoms are, what their other conditions are, and, you know, just based on myself, you know, then you start to learn more, right? The more you get educated or start doing it yourself, the more you start learning and can pass that knowledge and understanding on to others. So I really like that about, you know, the CBD.
Yeah. Wow. So your portfolio of help for the community runs quite the spectrum, from CBD to, you know, to bringing people into your awesome Dawn House, to helping others explore their limitless potential as well, right? So very cool. Very cool.
Did you want to hear about human trafficking, or?
Oh my God. Yeah. Like, okay. So, I mean, sure. What do you got?
There's lots going on, right? Like, I think it's one of those things too, where you think that it's not happening in your backyard, and it is, right? So
scary as hell.
Yeah. So it's, you know, one thing if, you know, somebody wants to work, and that's, you know, but there's a whole thing around it, right? And I think that, you know, talking to you, and when you started sharing with me the one story about, you know, the 14-year-old, and, you know, things like, it can happen to anybody in anybody's backyard. And so that it could be, you know, your sister, your daughter, your mother, your cousin. It just, you know, it's so easy. So I want to say, you know, examples. Would you want to give some examples of how they kind of, like, get them in? So I like the one that you shared with me today. So
guys, this is some serious stuff right here. Like,
yeah, like for your teenagers and
human
stuff, right?
Trafficking, guys. If you think that this crap can't happen in your own neighborhood, in your own house, trust me. I mean, Patricia's going to share a little story with you, but I mean, I know people that are very, very, very close to me who've had it happen to them, where a loved one of theirs was targeted and brought into a community that was there for nothing more than just to, you know, solicit a young woman to do unspeakable acts, and it's all for ultimately organized crime. Money runs it all. So
they're going to they're going to see them at the mall. They're going to creep their profiles, right? They're going to find the vulnerable youth who, you know, unfortunately, like the youth that I have in my care right now, who is, not human trafficked, not all of these things. None of these things have happened to her, but definitely at risk if, she didn't have those supports around her, right? So there, for one of her, there's probably, and I don't know statistics, right? We'd have to look those up, but I would assume like there is a bigger academic going on with our youth and homelessness, and that, they prey on like 14 to 16, or if they're having a hard time at their home. And how many of us as teenagers have had, difficulties? And if you haven't had difficulties with your parent as a teenager,
it's that age where you feel like you want to belong to something, and you're just so open to.
Yeah, and so like our upbringing is a lot different than their upbringing, right? Like we didn't have social media. Like when I went through a crazy court case when I was younger, right? I can't imagine that being plastered all over social media, and it wouldn't, right? Like it was bad enough that everybody there in the situation knew who I was, knew who they were, knew that the trial was coming down. It wasn't publicized. But at the same time, if it had been like this, it would have been, you need a special group of people at this point, to like keep it safe, right, and keep them safe. So.
Yeah. So you've had some people close to you who have fallen into this whole human trafficking ring, or what's your personal knowledge there?
I think like not like besides, and I don't want to go too far into like my story. I did start sharing some stuff with you that I'm still like waiting to. I've been writing for a while.
Yeah,
and this PDF guide, it'll bring out more of the story.
Right.
But when in your family, I can just say, like in my family, there is experience of all of those things that you would look out for, and that you would never want to happen to your own child or anybody, like your sister, your brother.
Hold your kids close, people.
Hold your kids close, because it is a very, very serious topic, and it's in our backyards, and
scary. As much as we want to talk about positivity and awesome stuff and reaching your ultimate potential, hey, you know what? There's something to be said about knowing how to protect yourself out there in this crazy world as well, right? I mean,
I want to say watch for your kids, like having nice purses, like what are they working at, right?
Right.
Who are they hanging out with? Are they, are you dropping them off? Are you still connecting with a parent, right? Like for me, I'm not necessarily always connecting with, a parent of, the youth that's with me now, because she knows and is connected to others, right? But it's, for the most part, I'm staying connected to her main sources of support, right? Definitely every day I'm in connection with their main sources. And then just get an address, go over there, right? Which is what I've done, all of the kids are out tonight, and it's like, I know I dropped them off there, right? So I dropped them off at this address, but I sit and I'm not pulling away. I'm waiting to watch them walk into that door.
Sure.
Right. And I know we can't all do that, right? Life is busy, and sometimes it takes two families to work. And as our kids get older, we leave them at home longer, right? So, or on their own, and it's.
And what do you think about maintaining a relationship with those youth that are in your life, that keeps that relationship open enough where they feel comfortable talking to you? Do kids talk to their parents or guardians or loved ones anymore nowadays?
Absolutely. Mine usually is like, do you want to? It usually happens in a drive, or I need to like come up and have a chat. I have an open door policy. That's what we have in our personal development mindset group, is that, message myself, Lester, or I want to say Gordon, but not Gordon's a pretty busy guy. So like message, when it comes to, supports and stuff, but reach out, right? Because they are reaching out. People are reaching out. There's people reaching out within our mindset group. Like you can't have, I don't think, 170 people tuning in out of the 200 members that we have, and people are reaching out. They're wanting to be connected to other services or other mindset or jobs. No potato head. I see. Is he saying no potato head?
I don't know. I'm sometimes the comments on the feed doesn't scroll the same. But
no,
why,
I can
are
hear,
you seeing comments?
I can hear. No, I can hear.
Oh, you know what you're hearing? You're hearing my boy here in the background playing a video game. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of people on here, bud. They're listening to you talking about Mr. Potato Head.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right. Teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah, he's cheering.
Absolutely.
He did some, I don't know, got some awesome kill in some Fortnite
I think that's
games
amazing. I think it's absolutely incredible when we can hear our kids like around us, right?
I know.
Playing.
Right before I went on, he's like, "Dad, I'll be super quiet. Don't worry. You can do your show, and I'll just be over here playing my game. You won't even know I'm here." That's okay, buddy.
I have to, if you're part of the mindset like development group, you'll see like when I'm reading, I leave, I come back, I leave, I come back. You know, the thing might freeze me, but I think the airplane mode is very helpful.
It is. It is. It keeps things smooth.
Nice.
Well, you know what? We're all families. We're not. I mean, at least in my little basement here, my awesome studio, right? I mean, this is just our home. So nothing incredibly technical here. We got my boy in the background screaming, playing Fortnite, and sometimes I'll occasionally drop my phone on the ground as well. So
mine might fly out of the window because it's up in the window right now. And I got my bar chair in here because usually I'm sitting.
Cool.
But yeah, my lighting's really bad in here. So, but I think lighting's better like this.
It looks beautiful. So yeah.
I might just keep it like this. But I like my bouncy ball.
Is that what you're sitting on?
No, I'm sitting on my bar stool tonight. But when I'm reading, right, when we're doing long talk, I am sitting on my stool, my bouncy stool usually.
Why not work on core strength while you're?
Yeah, the physio.
Who says you can't multitask? Come on.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, Patricia, I really appreciate you taking some time out of your. I'm sure it's an incredibly busy schedule on a Sunday night to spend some time chatting with little old me. So.
Oh no! Stop! As soon as you like reached out to me, I'm like, I'm totally talking to Mike. He's forged by the fire, and
that's it, buddy.
I just love that you took on the podcast challenge way before any of us did, and I just love it. I love that you've gone full force, and you have that radio voice, right? Like you have that voice that it's like an announcer voice. It's when you go to a good like. When I was little, my brother
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Like my brother played hockey and stuff, right? Or you know, you're always at the rink and the announcer guy coming over. You have to have a certain voice for that, right?
There was a time when I thought I might be an announcer. I swear to God, yeah.
You would be an incredible. Well, you know, if you've ever watched, oh gosh, there's, you know, I want to say it's Jackman. I'm not his first name. No.
What?
It'll come to me. It's not coming right now. But I want to say he announces for Robert Hollis on his Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's amazing.
Cool. Well, Robert Hollis, if you ever need if somebody calls in sick, you know where to find your next announcer.
Right on. Yeah, it's definitely Mike Kent for sure.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Forged by the fire. We're rising from the ashes like Phoenix every day. Patricia, thank you so much for coming on the show. And
thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, I don't think this will be the last time. We're going to get together again and we'll talk about
more. Yeah, we'll see what
questions.
If people have questions or whatever, I'm okay coming back on because you know what? This is our first time. It's raw. I didn't write notes, you know.
Notes.
So I know. And it's probably I'll go back and be like, oh, I should have said this or I should have said that, you know. And most of the times I don't even go back and watch my lives because I'm just like, oh my God, I would never come on again.
Hey, we can't criticize ourselves. We're just here having a talk. As far as I'm concerned, it's like, our schedules didn't match where we could get together for a coffee today. So we just decided to do it over our phone, right? It's just me and you here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, you take care. Have yourself a wonderful Sunday evening. Continue doing awesome things. And we'll talk to you.
Have a super stoked night.
Yeah, super stoked. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.